Hey guys, what's up, RedExions here, and welcome back to this brand new video. In this video we will be seeing if the Ferrari F2004 really is that fast by doing an in-depth comparison to F1 cars of some other years. You guys really enjoyed the last version I did of this, so I thought I'd do it again. And if you guys end up enjoying this version, please consider liking this video and subscribing. For you it is only 2 clicks, but for me it is literally the reason to continue doing this. So enjoy the video and let's dive into the first car. Okay guys, so welcome aboard the Williams FW19, the 1997 Williams F1 car that actually won the Drivers' World Championship with Jacques Villeneuve. It's powered by a Renault V10 engine and it sounds absolutely amazing, of course. Now getting up to about 308 km per hour, of course no DRS yet because that has not yet been invented in 1997. And yeah, so like I did last time guys, I'm going to give myself 3 laps with each car to set a lap time, and I will only be doing some minor setup changes. This is so that we can get a good view of how quick the car is and how quickly I am able to adapt to it by just doing a couple of laps. There you can see the T4 apex speed is 139 km per hour. So again, like I did last time, I will be measuring the apex speed of a low speed, medium speed and high speed corner, so that we can get a good idea of how much mechanical grip and aerodynamic grip this car has. Also I will be checking the top speed of every single car, and then at the end I will of course compare all of these things. Then the turn 9 apex speed is 209 km per hour, which is yeah, quite fast considering that this car is from 1997. One thing I have to say about this thing is that it gives you a false sense of grip. Like it feels like you can lean on the aerodynamic grip, but then when you go just a little bit over the limit, you lose it completely and there's absolutely no chance of recovering it. The guys over at VRC really did a good job on this car and I definitely recommend downloading it. It's free as well. And then the turn 4 apex speed is 84 km per hour. That's of course the lowest corner of this track, of this current layout. Then coming around the final corner now, we do a 1 minute 25.1, which is a pretty decent time I think. Now I really recommend getting this car. A download link to this car and every single car of course is in the description below, but let's dive into the next car now. Okay guys, welcome aboard the famous, the amazing, the legendary F2004. Do I even need to introduce this thing? Probably not, but I'm going to do it anyway. This thing was of course powered by a 3-liter V10 like the previous car, but it's 7 years newer. Getting up to a top speed of 326 km an hour there. Yeah, this car was rumored to have over 1000 horsepower. That was never confirmed though. Well, it took Michael Schumacher to his 7th and final World Championship title, and it has long had the crown of being the fastest F1 car ever created. There you can see a turn 4 apex speed of 139 km per hour, but you can also see that we get a little bit on the grass and that definitely compromises our run into the next corner. Of course I only allow myself to do 3 laps, and as you can see on the right there, this is already my 3rd lap, so we were going to have to roll with this. One thing I do have to say about this car, that it actually struggled from not having a decent setup. I think there's like 2 or 3 more seconds to gain out of this car just by doing some setup work. We get a turn 9 apex speed there of 220 km per hour, which is I think a little bit faster than the previous car. Of course this car is not helped by having these groove tires. That definitely takes a little bit of grip out of this car. Imagine how quick it will be with today's modern wide slicks. One thing we do have however is traction control, and that definitely helps us getting on the power. We can floor it way earlier than the previous car. Now going into the final 3 corners now, we get a turn 4 apex speed of 83 km per hour, which is actually lower than the last car we had. Of course this car is a little bit heavier and it doesn't have slicks, so that's definitely going to hurt it. We do a lap time of 120.8, and this is of course going to be the time to beat for the other cars, so let's see what they can do. Okay guys, so now we're in the McLaren MP4 22, which is the 2007 McLaren, and if you remember, this is the car that almost took Lewis Hamilton to winning the World Championship in his first year. So yeah, it's a pretty quick car, but if you guys remember, you also had the Spygate scandal. We get a top speed of 315 km per hour there, but I was talking about the Spygate scandal. Ferrari and McLaren were actually secretly working behind the scenes and they were exchanging data, so this car actually had some Ferrari data in it, which is of course not allowed. Now going to turn 4, we get an apex speed of 127 km per hour, which I think is the slowest of the lot so far. Of course this thing also has these grooved Bridgestone tires, which aren't helping this car, but what it does have is a more refined traction control system, so we can shoot out of every corner with almost flooring it immediately. But as you guys do know, this car only has a V8, 2.4 liter V8, which is of course a lot less powerful than the V10. This thing only produces around 700 until 750 horsepower. But our turn 9 apex speed is actually higher than what we've had so far, 224 km per hour. Yeah, the stock setup of this thing is just really good. And of course it has a lot more advanced aero than the F2004, so it probably generates some more downforce as well. But the fact that it also has only a V8 engine and that's 2.4 liters, is that means that the car is a lot lighter as well. It also feels like that. It's very forgiving, very easy to drive. In turn 14 we get an apex speed of 84 km per hour coming around the final corner now. Let's see what kind of lap time we can do. It will, I think, be a 120. It's a 123.166, which is pretty quick in my opinion. This car is great as well, go download it. It's great if you want to start out with the Assetto Corsa and want to get used to the physics. But let's go into the next car now. Okay guys, so welcome aboard the Formula Hybrid 2020 car. Now it might sound and look like a Ferrari, but it is not the Ferrari SF1004. The Formula Hybrid 2020 car is just a car based on the regulations of F1 in 2020. So, getting up to a top speed of 327 km an hour there. That's about 327 km an hour more than the SF1000 would reach in that situation. And yeah, of course you guys know the 2020 cars are just machines. They are so quick, it's unbelievable. We get an apex speed of 150 km an hour there in turn 4. But yeah, the reason these things are such machines is that they have massive tires and massive wings. But at the same time, their biggest strength is also their biggest weakness, because these things make for very boring racing. Like, because they are so reliant on their downforce and they create so much dirty air, it's so difficult to follow one another with this car. So yeah, I hope the next year's regulations will create some more equal racing. We can see a turn 9 apex speed there of 236 km an hour. I don't know, I didn't look that close, but I think it was something like that. Which is of course massive. I think in real life they were able to take that corner flat, but remember, I didn't do that much setup work and I also just gave myself 3 laps with this thing. Going into the final sector now, I expect of course that we're going to be very much quicker than the previous cars. You can see that turn 14 apex speed of 90 km an hour. Even though these things are like the heaviest F1 cars that have ever existed, they're still mind-bogglingly quick, and you can see that we do a 120.4. Which is, I think, the quickest we've done so far. So yeah, let's go into the final results and let's see what the conclusion of this video will be. So these are the results, and I definitely did not expect this. Feel free to pause the video to watch this table more closely. Now, to answer the question of this video, is the F2004 really that fast? Well, yes. Remember that I did all those laps under severely restricted circumstances. I think if I did a little bit of setup work, I could maybe squeeze out a couple more seconds of that lap time. Anyways guys, that was it for this little experiment video. Now if you like these types of videos and if you like F1 in general, consider joining my Discord server. There's a lot of like-minded subscribers in there and I'm sure you're gonna love it. There will be 2 other videos on screen right now that you might enjoy, but for now that was it. Peace.